Choices. Thancred has lost all patience with Lord Emmanuel. Well, yeah, we already saw that. I have no desire to wait for the lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend to in Ishgard. Dude, Thancred is not... He's just not having it. Yep. Man, I'm still just thinking how good that was. Just... I don't know. I don't know what exactly it was about it. I mean, because it's not like we haven't had other scenes that are emotional or whatever, but there was just something more viscerally satisfying about that scene. You are expected, miss. Pray proceed. Ooh. Daddy's probably not going to be happy. We received troubling reports from Falcon's Nest. What befell you there? I was kind of expecting this one to be voiced. Word of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you, Lavenza. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard the tale. 'Tis rumored that my youngest lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. Oh, of course, what stories are prone to exaggeration? What exactly came to pass? I see. So that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He has furthered the cause of these misguided few who cannot let go of the past. Enjoy the game as you can, because after the main story is... I do not agree, sir, but thank you for stopping by. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply on the war and the vengeance it begets, only for that to be taken away. Is it any wonder that they were left bereft? For what was this sacrifice? Have we not to show for our suffering? I thought peace a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmont, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our peril. To hold on to the past without being beholden to it, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers, without glorying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur other disillusioned souls to retrace them. But as you say, we dare not revel in past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, unambiguous enemy and an undeniably righteous cause. 'Tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long serve to unite us. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear. Yet, we are not without options. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Eorzean Alliance for joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations. Oh, is this the that fight you do? Yeah, to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and the Watch to take the field as allies. A unified Ishgardian force filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nations' finest. Hosted by Ishgard, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment. A victory under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry, that we are as strong and unified as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true, but if we should be defeated, though, even to hold our own against the cream of three nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well. You may count on my support for what little it is worth. However, I have a request. I would have my son Imaniline take part in the grand melee. Oh, wow. By his deeds has he brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. If that is his desire, then it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose. Lavenza, would you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once and begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough. Making every effort to avoid me. Okay, now that cutscene is over, let me address this. So you said enjoy the game as you can, because after the main story it's fucking boring. And I said I disagree, and then you said what is your point? My point is that I disagree. I don't think it's boring. I mean, I've completed the story. Well, I mean, you know, the last one came out, what, a little over a month ago? And I'm still playing. I haven't unsubscribed since 5.1. And I only unsubscribed for... I don't even know if I unsubscribed, but I stopped playing a little bit after 5.0 came out. And that wasn't because I disliked the game or didn't have anything to do or whatever. I just burnt myself out because I think I just maxed out Dancer at that time, but then I maxed out all Gatherers and Crafters. And just after that, I needed a break, and I did something else for a little while. I think I played Tor for a little bit. Was just kind of feeling nostalgic for that. But anyway, I mean, I've completed the story, and I've had plenty to do in the game and haven't felt bored in it, so... But I mean, that's just one of those things, you know, to each your own. Like, I mean, if you just play for the story and then unsubscribe and then come back whenever there is more story, I mean, that's cool. I've actually got a friend I suggested that to, because he just didn't really enjoy it outside of the story. Although I think he still hasn't caught up. But he's also a busy man. Okay, so yeah, it's just Thancred here. Oh, but yeah, we've got the Grand Melee or whatever, which will eventually end up fighting for Ishgard. So that is their solution, a Grand Melee to unite the people. And what part would they have you play in this affair, I wonder? Well, fighting for them. You, whom they have taken into their confidence, upon whom they have come so heavily to rely. And will you oblige them when the proposition is made? Will you stand for Ishgard once more? What will you say? We have come this far, have we not? I will stand for my friends and comrades, not a nation. It is getting to be a bit much, isn't it? Friends and comrades. A poor choice of words. For friends tried and true then, the living and the lost. Okay, it was his that were a poor choice. I thought he was talking about my choice. So, for this grand melee of his, Sir Emmerich wishes to field a force comprising both his temple knights and Hilda's watch, yes? I can only imagine what she will have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go and see for myself. Oh, and now Lucia. Well met, Lavenza. Have you spoken with Sir Emmerich? I was aware of the Alliance's request. So, Sir Emmerich would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses. It is not that I doubt the efficacy of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Nevertheless, he has not once given me reason to doubt his intentions, and these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch... Did he now? How considerate of Master Thancred to seek out our young watch commander of his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda, and I would have her best men, not her most dispensable. Oh. Hey, come on. Getting stuck on chairs. I know this is one of those solo instances that a lot of people wanted to be able to do again. It does kind of... I mean, I'm glad that they introduced New Game Plus, but it does kind of suck that you have to go through all of this, you know, to get back to that, that fight. I thought you had something to discuss with the first commander. Yeah, and I already did. Huzzah, we've been spoiling for a fight. We won't let Sir Emmerich down, you'll see. Bloody fool doesn't realize he'll have to sit this one out. If all the watch ran off with Sir Emmerich to play soldier, we'd be left to keep an eye on things here. Or who'd be left to keep an eye on things here? Thancred's been telling me all about Sir Emmerich's grand soiree. Seems we're expected to join in. It's nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows what he's doing. Because we ain't dressed to dance with professional bleeding soldiers. Letter to Hilda. Correspondence from Lucia addressed to Hilda. Well, well, seems the first commander's gone and handpicked her guests. Can't say I disagree with her choices, though. She's got a good eye. Will you be fighting too? Reckon it'd inspire the lads if you were. Might take their minds off getting their hides tanned and all. Think about it, huh? I hate to ask, but you haven't seen our favorite lordling, have you? I thought not. On the assumption that he is not to be found in his father's loving embrace, I suggest we split up and look for him. I will search foundation, and you the pillars. I still can't believe he actually hit the daft bastard. Gods, I wish I had been there to see it. Do they say anything different? No. Okay. So I'm in the pillars then. I guess I'll just go to the manor and work out from there. Okay, not anywhere near it. So... okay. Figures he'd be there. I think this is generally where he hangs out, like, whenever you finish with the story. I carried Honoro to the manor. Our best chirurgeons are tending to him as we speak. He has yet to wake, but surely he will. So father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs. My beloved family, always making my decisions for me. Give him a dirty look. It's not like that. It's just, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You are free to be the woman you want to be. Whereas I am a son of House Fortin. Don't you see? My father was determined before my future was determined before I was born. What I could and could not do. Right or wrong, that was the way of it, until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rubble, searching for a purpose, for a place. All around me, brave men and women rise to the occasion. With faith and conviction, they dedicate themselves to their causes, but not I. I was terrified of making the wrong choice, which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that, take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I had convinced myself I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. When I saw Honora, I wanted to scream. I wanted someone to blame. But in the end, there was only me. Only me. So you see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept Father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I will go to Sir Emmerich, and I will make my own decision. I mean, I kind of get where he's coming from. And I think he's so used to having people kind of tell him what to do that, like, now that maybe he's been given more freedom or whatever, he kind of doesn't know what to do. I kind of know what that's like, just having been in the military. You know, you get so used to living under a very kind of rigid structure that, like, once you get out, you know, I mean, if you didn't do your due diligence or whatever of kind of setting things up beforehand, which I think is probably more, you know, of like a retiree thing to do. I just know myself and a lot of other people that didn't do, 20 years. We were in such a rush just to get out that it was just like, we'll deal with it later. We'll deal with it later. And it became more of an issue. The Lord Commander is not to be disturbed. May I ask what matter demands his personal attention? I see. Very well. You may enter.
Lord Commander, if I may, I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalain. I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do. Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Amanalain de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
Who am I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You will take charge of the Ishgardian forces.
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emeric leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. There is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more. An adventurer beholden to none, who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory. A warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side. I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend, one more time?
Let's do it.
Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages, a celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
Hello, Skadge Turple. Thank you for joining the stream. Ooh, we got Lucia here. We would not have come this far were it not for you, Lavenza. It has been an honor and a privilege. Well, thank you. God's help me, I think it might be love. I dare say it might be cheating, too. Your mere presence is enough to turn the tide of most battles. And did you see the way his eyes lit up when you nodded? Oh, okay, so he's, I think, referring to Aymeric. 'Twas a look of boundless relief and joy. One would think a politician more practiced at concealing his emotions. But he's not really a politician, because he's like a military leader that is kind of just now in that position. Still, his honesty does him credit. For a moment, I was fair inspired to pledge myself to the cause, but that would be improper. This is their fight and yours, but not mine. Thank you all for watching this video. Tonight's stream, and particularly the story, has been some of the best yet. I think this has gotten the biggest reaction out of me so far. It's just been just phenomenal. And if you want to come and join me to experience it as well, the link to my Twitch is down below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you again. And you have a good one.